Hi, I'm Barry Herring with CMIT Solutions, and I am a veteran. I've served in the Marine Corps from '82 to 1986. I jumped out, went into the Army in '87, spent time in the infantry all the way up to '91, where I was hurt during Desert Storm. Desert Storm, I was reclassed and handed a computer and was retrained in computers. Retired in 2003, went into corporate world, did computer work in corporate world for a while. 2011, started a company called CMIT Solutions, helping small and medium-sized businesses with their IT issues.
Hi, I'm Frank Huelskoetter. I'm an ex-Army man and spent the time from 1943 to 46 in the Army, and then spent 12 years in the reserves. And I am an insurance agent, an independent insurance agent in St. Charles, Missouri. Donna Hukin worked for us in the agency here, worked with us for 15 years and did a tremendous job. And Donna invited me to this luncheon today, and I'm pleased to be with you, pleased to see Donna and Steve, who are good friends of mine. 6 months in the POW camp, German POW camp. But under the Geneva Convention, buck privates had to work. Anyone corporal or above did not have to work. When I was captured, I was a buck private, and I spent several months working, digging graves, repairing bombed out tracks, repairing the SS headquarters in Nuremberg. And when I got to Moosburg outside of Munich near the end of the war, I decided I deserved a promotion, so I made myself a corporal, and I no longer had to work. Well, the thing I learned from the Army is that you have to have good people around you if you want to be successful.
My name is Harrison Ochs. I joined the United States Coast Guard December 27, 1941. Boarded the United States Coast Guard cutter 3 days later on New Year's Eve, and served on the Dione until March the 15th, 1944. After that, I served, I was picked out amongst boatswain mates to take training on yachts in preparing for the invasion of Japan. I was put in a holding pattern, and then I ended up being assigned to destroyer escort. I'm proud to be a veteran, and I am a member of the American Legion, VFW, and DAV. It taught me that regardless if you liked the guy alongside of you, you had to get along with him and work with him. When it comes to general quarters, regardless who he was or what he was, you all worked together as a team, and that way we all survived. Of my time in service, I spent 3 years, I was 3.5 years in service at sea.
I'm Carl Wolf, currently Police Chief of the City of Hazelwood. I spent 49 months in the Navy from 1965 to 1969, and when I separated from the Navy, I was a AW2, which is an anti-submarine warfare technician, second class. I spent a tour in Vietnam from 1967 to 1968, and one of my claim to fame was that flying from the Philippines to Cam Ranh Bay in South Vietnam, I was able to locate a Russian nuclear sub which was submerged under the South China Sea. It was a unique experience. Once we located it, the United States Navy followed it for 6 months. So I guess one of the things that that the military helped me was that it gave me a respect for life. After being in Vietnam and seeing what occurred over there and the way the people were living, it made me really appreciate the United States of America. And the unique thing about it is I just returned this weekend from Hanoi, Vietnam. My first time back to Vietnam in 40-some years.
Hi, my name is John Gwaltney. I'm mayor of the city of Edmondson, and I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army Security Agency. I served for 4 years there, from 1966 to 1970. I trained in Fort Belvoir, Virginia, in the engineering area, and started out as a mechanic and worked through the ranks and became when I got out, I was a motor sergeant. And I spent most of my time in Ethiopia, and we were linked between Vietnam and United States there. And but the Army taught me a lot about being a mayor, because as a motor sergeant, I dealt with all the difficulties. I was even a safety officer, NCO at one time. It taught me how to manage the time, how to be a good employer, how to be a good boss, how to deal with difficult situations and difficult people, and to keep a smooth flowing operation. And that's what I try to bring to my job as mayor of the city of Edmondson. I'm very, very grateful and very happy about my time in the Army.
My name is Mayor Besmer from the city of Woodson Terrace. I was in the U.S. Navy from 1969 to 1973. Spent 12 days at sea. Everybody says, how do you spend that much time in the Navy and not go to sea? Well, I spent a year in the river in Vietnam that counted for sea duty. So when I got back to the States, I had my choice of orders, and I stayed on land. I learned about teamwork, about how easy it is to work with one another rather than fight one another. I was happy I went. It was a good experience. At the time, I was a young kid, didn't understand what was going on, but now I'm proud I went, and I come out as an E5.
I'm the agent on duty at Sappington Insurance Services. I'm a United States Marine. I joined the Marine Corps on November 5th, 1979, the day after they captured the American embassy in Iran. While I was in the Marine Corps, my primary job was I was an 0842. I was a counter-mortar radarman for field artillery. My first unit was Headquarters Battery Regiment, 11th Marines, 1st Marine Division. I liked that job. I liked being in the Marine Corps. While I was on active duty for 5 years, I've been on every continent but Antarctica. And when I was in Korea, I went up on the line on the 27th day of December, and I came back on the 4th day of February. That's when I got relieved. And it was the most miserable experience I ever had in my life. It never got above 0 degrees. And we were living in a tent, 20 of us. We were eating frozen food out of cans and paper packages, and it sucked. I like being a Marine. I love my country. I love being an American, and I'm proud of the fact that I had the opportunity to serve my country.
I'm John Conlon, administrative aide for the city of Woodson Terrace. I joined the United States Air Force in 1963. Learned an awful lot while I was in there. A lot of discipline, how to work together with people, how to cooperate. Right now I'm post commander of American Legion Post 143, which meets right here in Woodson Terrace. Great experience. Glad I joined it.
Yeah, I remember the moment it happened. I remember just thinking to myself, oh man, they got me, you know, and I was in the air, loud ringing in the air. And I remember landing down by the water because it splashed up on my face, and then, you know, I was in and out between that time, but yeah. I remember looking up and seeing my buddies putting the tourniquets on. I flashed forward to that Tom Hanks movie where that guy's running up the beach screaming, and I thought to myself, you know, I don't want this to be the last thought of my guys seeing me like this.
And then you wake up and you're in a hospital bed.
Correct.
And you've lost your arms, you've lost your legs. And what was your first real thought at that point?
I was kind of still dazed. I mean, I knew I'd lost my legs, but I still kind of thought I could feel my hands, but my wife had told me that I had lost my hands as well, so.